heating work?
How does the heating work? So we have what is called district heating. So the hot water is pumped into the school from outside. So it comes from an external source in a boiler house on Aikman Avenue, and it pumps hot water into the school. And then we've got all sorts of systems in a boiler house that pushes the hot water around the pipes and down into the radiators, and then it vents out the top of the radiators. So then you feel the warmth when you come in the morning, don't you? And I can set the hot water and the heating to come on at certain times of the day. So just before you get into school in the morning, I'll make sure that the heating is on just before you get here, so it's already nice and warm when you walk in.
In the Smiths class,
Yes.
when some of the year threes went into guided reading, it was really cold.
In Miss Smith's,
Yeah.
in her office.
Class.
Oh, in her class. Yeah,
Smith's
3CS.
Yeah.
Oh, it was really cold there, right, okay. And was that a particularly cold day outside as well, was it?
It was today.
Oh, it was today. It was cold today, right. And what time was that?
In the morning.
In the morning, right, okay. That may well be that because the temperature did drop a little bit last night. I know I put my plants out and I covered them up last night because I knew it was going to be a little bit cold, so that may have made you realise that it was a little bit colder in the class. Were there any windows open or anything?
No.
No, so the windows were closed, it was a little bit cold. Right, okay. Now, because the weather's getting a little bit warmer as well, so what Mr. Cree's done, normally I run the heating and it finishes in the afternoon when you go home. But because it's been really warm lately, I've programmed the heating to go off earlier in the morning, about 10 o'clock. So that may have switched off the heating this morning when it was maybe perhaps a little bit too cold. So, good question.
How do you turn the heating on and off?
How do I turn the heating on and off? So I've got what you call a BMS system on my computer. It's called a building management system, and it's got all the picture of all the pipes and all the timings on it, so I can adjust all the timings on my computer. So I go into the BMS system and everything comes up, and it's got all the school times for hot water, for cold water, and all things like that, and the heating. So I can make that come on at early hours of the morning, or I can make it come on a little bit later. So it's all programmed on a computer. Right, that's great. That's a really good question.
Why are the fans on the ceiling always on as they're wasting energy?
Right, yeah, I can understand what you're saying about wasted energy, but sometimes when the carbon dioxide content in the classroom gets a little bit high, so when we breathe, we're all releasing carbon dioxide, and if the windows are open, we're taking in some fumes from the traffic outside. So what that fan in the ceiling does, that refreshes the air. It's actually removing all that carbon dioxide and bringing in some nice fresh air for you, and it's bringing it in at a nice temperature. That's why they're running. So they're actually, why it's wasting energy a little bit, but it's actually making the air that we're breathing better. All right. Okay.
How much electricity is wasted every day in our school?
That's a really good question. I would say probably quite a bit, because it all depends when we go out to play at break times and lunch times, and the teachers go for their lunch. It's quite possible if they're leaving fans on, or if they're leaving heaters and things like that type of thing, if there's anything still plugged in when it doesn't need to be. But I think on the whole we're quite good as a school, because at night my team of cleaners, we go round and we make sure that all the computers, all the fans and all the iPad chargers are all switched off at night, so we're not wasting energy through the night.
So how much would you say in percentage?
Say that again.
So how much would you say in percentage?
In percentage wastage, off the top of my head, I bet we could improve probably, I'll say 20%, and that's by perhaps closing things off and switching lights off at lunch times and break times. But that's another good question. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Is that 20%? Is that okay? Do you think? Yeah, I think so. I think we can. There's always room for improvement. Yeah, great.